Hi guys, thanks for joining. And what are we going to do today? So I'm going to try something a little bit different. I feel like I start a lot of my videos saying that, but of course we don't do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So today I'm going to be doing a split swipe with my Fluid Art Co tool. Yeah, it's number 17 and it is a really big long swiper. It has like at least a 6-inch swiping area on it. In fact, I think that's exactly 6 inch. And it's hopefully going to be enough for me to do a center swipe out, like a split swipe from the center. Then I want to see if I can make some cool patterns in the middle. I normally do a swirl down the middle, but today I'm going to be getting a little bit more intricate and seeing if I can play with some of the cells that are in fact sitting on the edge here in the middle next to the cell activator. Now that might have sounded all rather confusing, but you'll see when we get going what the plan is. And I'm also not going to spin this one, I'm going to tilt it. So the line's definitely not going to stay in the middle, okay? It's going to be shifting and getting into a wonky space, but that's the whole point of it. I don't really want it uniform straight down the middle. I want to use my tilting skills, if I have any today, to make a little bit more of a different composition, a little bit more abstracty, swipey. All right, so starting as we usually do with some pillow. We don't want to use that part of the pillow, do we? That'll just wreck it straight away. Just keeping a good eye on that no bad parts are going to come out of there. Okay. I don't normally do this, but I need to spread it out a little bit and make sure there's nothing bad came out of that pillow container, which it's looking pretty smooth. So feel like it may not quite be just enough. Now I need a little bit more pillow, guys, because I'm tilting this one. The worst thing that can happen when you're tilting is you run out of pillow. So you do end up wasting a fair bit more pillow when you're tilting rather than spinning. But if you leave yourself with not enough, you're going to have a really hard time stretching that out. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, look, I feel like Lisa Marvin doing this. I don't normally do this, but I want it to all look even now when I start. So I was sure there was something bad up in that corner, but maybe I'm just paranoid now because something bad was in the container. Piece of dried up paint. Okay, so still trying to keep the majority of that paint in the middle. So now I haven't really even thought about colors. What am I going to do? What about think Shelley. Didn't really think about this before I started. Okay, what about we go for Glisten, Pthalo Blue, Meteorite, some of this opaque looking color here. What's that called? Tranquility. Beautiful. Thanks, Holcroft. Tranquility. Sounds exactly what I want to happen here. So I'm going to place down, so I've got 2 Piggies and 2 paints. So I've got a Atelier Free Flow Pthalo Blue, Holcroft Tranquility, some tongue twisters, Glisten, which I've labelled because it's an interference and I don't want to mix it up with my other ones, and Meteorite, which is a kind of like a pewter colour that I created for the TLP This Little Piggy pigment line. Okay, now I think I might also add in this custom dark blue I've made from Holcroft Summer Night and Holcroft Carbon Black. was trying to do a bit of an indigo color, but it came out a little bit more like Payne's Grey. So there must be a little bit more grey in that dark blue than I anticipated. Okay, so while we're doing this, we do not want that pillow to start drying, so I'm just going to get straight into it. I think I'm going to put my Glisten down first because it's quite a strong interference colour. It's going to pop through all the rest once I swipe over the top of them. This colour is not shy, so it doesn't really matter where you put it in your pour. Yeah, you're definitely going to still see it. So straight down the middle. Glisten is a blue-green interference from TLP. Then for the first time ever, I'm going to put some of this Tranquility. Never used it, so nobody knows what's going to happen yet. It's quite pale. Sometimes it's harder to see the pale colours, but you know, it is a fully opaque colour with a lot of white in it, so maybe it'll even make us a few peacock cells if we're lucky. Okay, let's keep moving. Meteorite. Meteorite is it's a colour like pewter. It's a little bit, just want to make sure I get some on both sides of that swiping tool, where the swiping tool is going to go. It's a bit sort of, it's not silver, it's not gold, it's not brown. It's kind of a little bit of a combination of all three. Tends to throw a lot of gold in some light, and then other times it looks really quite gunmetal-ish, greyish, browny, silvery. Wrap your chops around that. Just about need a script for some of these sentences I'm pulling out today. All right, now I'm not sure if I want to do this darker colour now. I think I might, let's just do like a tiny little bit of that custom dark blue I made, which is a little bit more like grey. Maybe put a bit too much black in it and I lost a little bit of the blue, but we'll see if it comes out at all. Now, on my tool, I'm going to do something risky. I would normally, what am I going to do? Am I going to do this? Yep, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Then I'm going on with the Pthalo blue. Because I want to play with the pattern in the middle, I need to make sure I've got cell activator left. So I'm not going to put it on the tool and swipe it. I'm going to put quite a big strip down the middle. And you kind of got to be careful how much you actually put. So it definitely has to be enough to be left with some in the middle. But if you put too much, you're going to be left with way too large a gap. So fingers crossed we put the right amount on and that we get to it with this tool before it sinks too much. So I might try and come out of the wide side of the cup. Okay, so that's a lot. We're just going to lose a bit of that off there. Okay, let's see what this tool can do. I'm hoping it's going to be a nice uniform swipe. And that those cells are going to start to join up in the middle. Now, just in case we can't get all the way to the edge, when we tilt, I don't want to have too much of a hassle. Oh, now I'm stuffed, aren't I? Can't turn it around because I'm not on my spinner. Get so used to having the spinner there. Don't really know what to do without it now. Luckily, these cool tools come up off the surface a bit. I've also got my Fluid Art Co pour mat down here. This is made from silicone coated fiberglass, which is weird because I thought fiberglass was actually quite stiff, but in fact, I don't even know what fiberglass is. So this one is a pliable mat. You can fold them up. I've got a huge one on my table. They come in all different sizes. So make sure you get over to the Fluid Art Co store. We'll drop you a link and I will quickly show you before I start wondering what to do with that paw. The round one that I just can't live without that I've popped inside my Lazy Susan spinner. Incredibly easy to keep clean and wipe off. And yeah, really just can't live without mine now. Okay, so this just went to a place I'm not really sure about now. So I'm just going to probably just wreck it now. Not really sure what's going on here. What's going on? Thought I might be able to make some little paisley swirls out of the middle, but there's kind of nothing here for this bit. Oh God, what's happening now? As with everything though, I always give everything a chance. I always stretch everything out. Well, that's a lie. I'm absolutely just lying to you, but if I'm not 100% sure if something's gonna work or not, definitely do give it the chance to shine. Before I ditch it. Now this will be interesting as we're going to tilt. And I've got a fair bit of choice here, what I want to tilt off and what I want to keep. I don't want to wait too long because I don't want the black to start getting weird in the middle. But I can pretty much do whatever I want with this now. So, because I'm not that fond of those lines, that's going to be the first thing I get rid of there. So I don't have too many crazy lines going on. Oh, there's Louis. Hey, buddy. Okay, so that's what I mean about needing enough paint. You really do need to make sure that you have quite an abundance of paint. This is where I could really use my spinner now. To stretch that out without having to tilt it, but we've committed to tilting, so we're going to see it through. It's almost a little bit crazy looking with those really large black and white cells there. Well, actually, they are black and white, but they have a bit of interference happening in there, so I don't really know what to do with this corner. Don't know whether it's going to become quite boring if I just get rid of all of those cells there. But I don't know about that bit that's starting to stick out down here. I think I don't really have a choice but to get rid of it down to there. Spinner would come in very handy right about now. So we'll see what happens now. I can still sort of see the line. Got some very wonky cells going on from the crazy swirly stuff I was doing in the middle there. So it's not super exciting, but there's some pretty cool piggies shining through there. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of don't mind it actually. Just get rid of these messy gloves and I'll show you those piggies shining. It might have just saved what otherwise is quite a boring looking swipe there. It's a little bit kind of zebra looking with those stripy things. Oops. Let's see how we went with the shimmer. Can't see a whole lot of that glisten, but... Oh, actually, yes, we can. And this is the thing about that glisten. You should see what's happening with that glisten now. It's on black. It's beautiful in beachy paintings, obviously, being a blue-green shifting duo. If you pull it up to the right light on the angle, you can actually see it turn from blue to green and then back again. A bit of turquoise in there as well. It's quite pretty. So generally it's quite a clean, nice little kind of green blue shift when it's on white. What I'm going to show you has happened in this one is there's a lot of black on it, or it's on a lot of black, and it kind of makes this much darker version of the blue-green. That's it just in there. Then we've got the Meteorite, the beautiful browny, goldy, silvery, coming through just nicely, making that a little bit more interesting than it would have been if it was just plain colours. It's actually quite nice. I've decided I'm actually going to keep it now. It's funny how things change. I really don't mind it. Definitely keen to see that with Resonite. So, pluses and minuses. I definitely like the fact that there's some smaller cells up the top and some bigger ones down the bottom. If I had my time again, I probably wouldn't swirl those cells in the middle in that particular way, because it's really just kind of made it look like we've got some wonky cells and that it wasn't really on purpose, but you and I know that I did that on purpose. Didn't quite come out how I expected, but the tilting has definitely given it a bit of a different composition like I thought. And there's some really beautiful lagoony type colors happening just in here with the blue and the green, making a gorgeous little sea color there. And yeah, the glisten on black almost appears to be like a tail feather, the other color that is a bold color. That it kind of looks like that color genuinely on its own. So yeah, that was interesting and fun. And yeah, hopefully when I give it another go, I might thicken up my black cell activator, because the problem I could see with what happened there was too many cells popping up in the middle, and I didn't keep that line there, which was, yeah, the black being a little bit too thin. But anyway, success in the end. All right, guys, I'm going to bring you down for a flyover. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Okay.